Puerto Rico governor breaks his silence, exposes sick liberal lie. In the wake of Hurricane Maria, Puerto Rico was left devastated. Instead of being viewed as a disaster that needs proper attention, Democrats decided this would be a great excuse to drill President Trump until Puerto Rico's governor came out and broke his silence. Ricardo Rosello, the governor of Puerto Rico, recently appeared on The View to let everyone know what is really going on in light of people like Whoopi Goldberg scolding the president. Instead of bending to their agenda, Rosello stated, "I thank him for issuing emergency declarations, issuing disaster declarations verbally as the storm was hitting Puerto Rico. He has also given instructions to FEMA and other federal agencies to help Puerto Rico, so that effort is ongoing, and it's very good. It's very effective. It turns out that the statements claiming that Trump is ignoring Americans that need help is complete nonsense." Of course, Goldberg, a regular on the show, asked, "I wonder if he realizes these are American citizens." Injecting this kind of false hatred into our country is causing trouble and making operating these tough times even more challenging for political officials reaching out to people who need help. Let's take a listen to these idiots too on The View.
Isa del Encanto. So you've described the situation there as the biggest catastrophe in Puerto Rico's history. Tell us, what is the condition of the island right now?
Well, right now, Sonny, the whole island, the infrastructure is devastated. This hurricane has hit every corner of Puerto Rico. We have no energy grid. We have little access to water. We have to take that water to the people of Puerto Rico. But we're working closely with the federal government to make sure that we have all of our efforts ongoing and that we can respond to this emergency. It is critical that we get more help. We have limitations by being an island. We can't get them those resources through roads. So our ask is to continue this collaboration and make sure that we save people's life. And of course, once we pass the emergency, get Puerto Rico back in the path to rebuilding stronger than ever.
So Governor Whoopi, who's the most at risk right now? Is it children? Is it the elderly? Who do we have to really make sure we take first precedence for?
Well, certainly most vulnerable, children, the elderly, and those that are in hospitals. This is why we've made a priority to deliver diesel fuel to hospitals and to super shelters that are going to have, the elderly and kids, so we can make sure that they have water, food, and that their medical needs are met. We're also getting the USS Comfort over here to Puerto Rico, which can host up to 1,000 patients. That'll be significant help. And we've established a logistical platform. We've already made sure that 29 out of the 69 hospitals in Puerto Rico are working, that they're getting fuel, and that if there are emergencies, we can have them come to San Juan airlifted for more serious events.
Hi, Governor. This is Sarah. Earlier, we saw a clip of President Trump saying the White House is doing a, quote, great job. How do you think they're doing in terms of response so far, and do you think it's enough?
Well, certainly, here's the two components that we need to consider. Number one, the president has been in contact with me almost on a daily basis, so he is aware of the devastation, and I thank him for issuing pre-land emergency declarations, for issuing a disaster zone declaration verbally as the storm was hitting Puerto Rico. He has also given instructions to FEMA and other federal agencies to help Puerto Rico. So that effort is ongoing, and it's very good, and it's very effective. However, there are some logistical threats that we're facing. A lot of the people in Puerto Rico that used to, say, for example, truck gas or food from one place to the other have not reported. So the logistical transportation of the help that's arriving to Puerto Rico is kind of becoming a bottleneck. And what we really need are some human resources, which we've requested, and FEMA has established the Corps of Engineers and special forces from the DOD that are going to be coming to Puerto Rico so they can help in transportation, medical safety, they can help with fuel lines, they can help in a whole host of things. So I know it is a challenging situation, and let me put it in this context. This is the biggest, the most devastating event in the history of Puerto Rico. 2 Category 5 hurricanes, Category 4 or 5 hurricanes, passing in the span of 2 weeks. But we, the U.S. citizens that live in Puerto Rico, the proud U.S. citizens that live in Puerto Rico, wanna work, wanna deal with the emergency, but we also are looking forward for a special aid package from Congress. And I call upon Congress to act quickly. A lot of messages of solidarity by congressmen and congresswomen. I've spoken personally to them. Our ask is that we treat Puerto Rico equally, that we attend to the devastation, and if we do that, we can avoid a humanitarian crisis in the United States and put Puerto Rico back in the path to recovery, and in the long run, build it stronger than ever.
Thank you, Governor. Governor, people are desperate to get in touch with their loved ones. Do you have any idea when they'll be able to reach them, or what else they can do to find out if their loved ones are okay?
Yes, well, so this is one of the great challenges. Once your energy grid, which was old and unmaintained, completely collapsed, a lot of things that depend on energy also fall with it. Telecommunications has fallen. We started recouping that telecommunications. We're about at a 30% recuperation rate. We are working with the private companies to make sure they can bring floating antennas. We were just told a couple of minutes ago that a few of the providers are going to bring floating antennas, which are going to get that access to different and remote parts of the island. We are personally going to all the municipalities. I just came from an area that was desolated, and aside from taking water, food, and some other essential basic needs, I also took a sat phone so that the mayor or the leader of the community could start communicating and make sure that we have established that communication. You wouldn't believe how many communities I go to where people give me their phone numbers, their names, phone numbers of their relatives, and I have to come later at night and call those relatives just to let them know that they're okay. So we're working diligently. Slowly but surely it'll materialize, but I can understand the anxiety of not hearing from loved ones. Personally, I didn't hear from my parents 2 days after the storm, so I can only imagine what it's like not hearing from your loved ones, a week after the storm.
Tell me, sir, what is your assessment as far as when Puerto Ricans will be able to get back to their normal lives? When will they get power back? That seems to be a major problem right now.
Well, the level of devastation in the power grid is unprecedented. Essentially, our whole power grid has been devastated. Transmission lines were completely destroyed. To give you sort of a comparative, when Irma came through Puerto Rico, none of the transmission towers was broken. Right now, we have dozens, maybe 50 transmission towers that have been completely destroyed. We're looking for creative alternatives to restore power, but certainly we can't do it in the traditional way. And what we want to do, and I know we're still in the emergency phase, but looking forward is after this tragedy, after this catastrophe, we need to rethink how to build and how to make our communities safer and how to prepare for some of these disasters. So I think the people of Puerto Rico are very resilient. You'll see it. We'll be standing up, we'll be working, and we'll use this to make sure that we get those funds, build better than ever, and we have technology, better grids for energy, better access for our people. So although I know that at the current moment we're dealing with the emergency, in the long run, as we start building through the process of reconstruction, our focus should be to rebuild better than ever using technology and being very innovative.
Thank you so much, Governor Ricardo Rosello. Our prayers are with you and the people of Puerto Rico. And of course, you, our viewers, can help those affected by Hurricane Maria by visiting the redcross.org.
Yeah, another crooked organization, the Red Cross. You see what these idiots are pushing? Trump is helping, but the logistics are very difficult. There you have it in a nutshell. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching. Puerto Rico governor breaks his silence, exposes sick liberal lie. In the wake of Hurricane Maria, Puerto Rico was left devastated instead of being viewed as a disaster that needs proper. So that effort is ongoing, and it's very good. It's very effective. It turns out that the statements claiming that Trump is ignoring Americans that need help is complete pretension. Democrats decided this would be a great excuse to drill President Trump until Puerto Rico's governor came out and broke his silence. Ricardo Rosello, the governor of Puerto Rico, recently issuing emergency declarations, issuing disaster declarations verbally as the storm was hitting Puerto Rico. He has also given instructions to FEMA and other federal agencies to help Puerto Rico. Appeared on The View to let everyone know what is really going on in light of people like Whoopi Goldberg scolding the president. Instead of bending to their agenda, Rosello stated, "I thank him for issuing